This is Act 3, Scene 5. Now again, notice this is only the third time the witches have appeared in the play. So the three witches have returned, and they meet Hecate. So Hecate is the goddess of witchcraft, okay, and sort of a little bit like the witch's boss. Now Hecate is unhappy, okay. So the first thing the witches say, so thunder again, we're probably out in the middle of the forest or the heath somewhere. How about Hecate? You look so angrily. So there's this idea of like, sort of why angry? So Hecate appears in front of the witches, and Hecate is pissed off. Right? Hecate is unhappy and explains the reasons why. Okay. Now notice again, this is written not in iambic pentameter, but in trochaic tetrameter. Right? Have I not reason, bedams as you are? So it has a weird kind of pattern to it, because Hecate is also not a human character. So, why are you so angry, Hecate? Have I not reason, bedams as you are? Bedams is another word for a witch. Beldams as you are, saucy and overbold. So to be saucy means to be kind of arrogant. So I'm annoyed that you've been so arrogant. You've been so bold and arrogant in your behaviour. How did you dare to trade and traffic with Macbeth in riddles and affairs of death? So Hecate is angry that they've met with Macbeth. They weren't supposed to do that, but they've gone ahead and done it anyway. So the riddles and affairs of death, so this idea of like playing with Macbeth and tricking him, like why have you done that? I didn't ask you to do that. You've done that without my permission. And I, the mistress of your charms, so the person who gives them their power, a charm is a spell, a magical spell. And I, the mistress of your charms, the close contriver of all harms, was never called to bear my part, or show the glory of our art. So why did you never get me involved? Why have you left me out? It's weird, really weird, right? And which is worse, all you have done have been but for a wayward son, spiteful and wrathful, who as others do, loves for his own ends, not for you. So this is the description of Macbeth. So why have you chosen Macbeth? They describe him as a wayward son. Now, to be wayward means that you're kind of rebellious. So why have you chosen him, somebody who is a bad person, like spiteful, wrathful, and he's only interested in himself, not you? But, remember, but is always about a change. So Hecate's pretty angry. All of this here is Hecate being angry because the witches have betrayed her argument, whatever, right? But make amends now, so you can fix this. Get you gone, and at the pit of Acheron, which is hell, meet me in the morning. It's the river that separates hell from like life and death. So meet me in the morning. Thither he will come to know his destiny. Your vessels and your charms provide, your charms and everything beside. I am for the air. This night I'll spend unto a dismal and fatal end. Great business must be wrought here noon. So here's the key thing, right? They know Macbeth is coming. So Macbeth has decided that he wants to go see the witches and get more prophecies, but they already know that he's coming. And Hecate says, meet him and give him new prophecies, right? She describes it as great business. Upon the corner of the moon there hangs a vaporous drop profound. I'll catch it here, I'll come to ground, and that distilled by magic sleights shall raise such artificial sprites as by the strength of their illusion shall draw him on to his confusion. So they're going to trick him. Now all of this here is about how they make spells. They used to believe that the moon would like drop magic onto the herbs, and the herbs they would then cut and turn into spells. So we're going to make spells and we're going to confuse him, right? We're going to mess him up. We've given him power and now we're going to take it away. Okay, to trick, for him to lose power. He shall spurn fate, scorn death, and bear he hopes above wisdom, grace and fear. And all you know, security is the mortal's chiefest enemy. Okay, so there's an old adage which is that security equals complacency. So what they're going to do is they're going to trick him, and they're going to make him think that he is immortal. They're going to make him think that he is unbeatable. And they say, in that security, we will bring him down. So we'll trick him into thinking that he cannot be beaten. He'll be so confident that he'll actually end up coming down. Okay? Notice this, right? Spurn fate. To reject his future, not fear death. Okay? Now, one of the things that I want to talk about now, that will come up in a bit, one sec, right? Just circle death, okay? And circle fate, okay? So these are the things, remember, that make us human, right? All of us one day will die. And right, all of us one day will die. And it's the reality and the fear of death that makes us what we are, right? If you don't fear death, if I told you, no matter what you do, you could not die, it would completely change your character. It would make you more reckless, more bold. It would make you less caring of people. So what they do to Macbeth is they give him these new prophecies, and in doing so, they remove his humanity. Right? We'll come on to that later on. But they have this wicked plan for him. And their plan is to make him think he cannot die. Turn the page, please. Music and song. Come away, away. Hark, I am called. My little spirit sea sits in a foggy cloud and stays for me. So exits. Come, let's make haste. She'll soon be back again. So they're going to go make their plan for Macbeth. Okay? Good. So that gives us a little bit of like what they're going to do, that they have this plan for him. This scene is much more interesting. Okay? So this scene here, Act 3, Scene 6. Levi. Act 3, Scene 6 is, again, and it's not in a known place, but I'm going to say it's outside. It's sort of outside the castle. Now, this character Lennox comes up quite a bit. Now, Lennox is ultimately, first of all, Lennox is a Thane, the Thane of Lennox, so somebody with a bit of power. But Lennox is very, very two-faced. Lennox is a spy for Macbeth, but Lennox is ultimately only interested in themselves, right? So they're going to speak now about Macbeth, and I want you to understand that when they're saying all of this stuff they're saying here, it's all ironic, right? Slash sarcastic. So we get a little bit of a taste of what Macbeth has been saying. Okay, there is a lot of fake news in this bit. Okay, so Lennox comes out and he's talking to a lord, and he kind of updates us on what's happening. So this is a little bit of a sort of an update. Or if you want to be a bit more technical, we call this exposition. So telling us what is life like under the rule of Macbeth. My former speeches have hit upon your thoughts, which can interpret further. Only I say, things have been most strangely born. So things are weird, right? Everything's a bit weird. Everything's a bit weird at the moment, right? The gracious Duncan was pitied of Macbeth. Marry, he was dead. And the right valiant Banquo walked too late, whom you may say, if it please you, Fleance killed, for Fleance fled. So Macbeth has been spreading the lie that Fleance killed Banquo. He goes, well, why did Fleance run away? Does that sound familiar? Says the same thing to Banquo, to Malcolm Donalbain. So Macbeth has been spreading a lie that Banquo walked too late So he was out too late and he was killed by robbers, or that actually Fleance killed him. Now here's the key thing, right? Lennox does not believe this. He does not believe it. He is reporting the lies that are being told. Okay? Men must not walk too late. Who cannot want the thought of how monstrous it was for Malcolm and Donalbain to kill their gracious father? Damn facts! Right? Notice he says it like that. So again, he's being sarcastic. But when he's with Macbeth, because he's a bit of a spy, he's like, oh, I agree with you. But as soon as he's out of Macbeth's earshot, he's like, if anyone was to say, you've disagreed with me, he says, no, I didn't. I said it was a fact. But the way he says it is he's being sarcastic about it. So again, we've got multiple lies here. Fleance killed his father. Malcolm and Donalbain killed their father. How it did grieve Macbeth. So again, notice this. The exclamation mark is kind of sarcastic. Oh, he was so upset by what happened. He did not straight in pious rage kill the delinquent tear that were the slaves of drink and fools of sleep. So he kills the guards. Was that not nobly done? Aye, and wisely too. For 'twould have angered any heart alive to hear the men deny it. So that I say, he has borne all things well. And I do think that had he Duncan's sons under his key, so locked up, as please heaven he shall not, they should find what 'twere to kill a father. So should Fleance. So he would execute Fleance and Duncan's children, because, and again, the point he says here, right, is that, so please heaven they shall not. So he says, to please God he doesn't get his hands on them. He would teach them what it is to kill a father. So he would execute all these people the same way that he killed the guards. He would kill them because he knows that it's not true, right? So Lennox is kind of talking about what Macbeth is saying. Macbeth has been lying. He's been saying that Fleance killed Banquo, Duncan's children killed him. If he got his hands on them, he would kill them, right? In sort of in a vengeance. But peace, for broad words and cause he failed. His presence at the tyrant's feast. Notice he calls Macbeth a tyrant. Okay. So a tyrant is a word that's used for somebody who uses power selfishly. Okay. So he's not selfishly. He's not a good ruler, right? He failed his presence. Now he's talking about Macduff now. So Macduff did not attend Macbeth's feast. I hear Macduff lives in disgrace. Sir, can you tell me where he bestows himself? So where has Macduff gone? So we learn a few things here, right? First of all, Macduff has run away, but also Macbeth has become a bad ruler. He's a tyrant. Okay, he's blaming things. He's making up facts, making up stuff. He's saying that other people kill people. He's kind of controlling the narrative. But people like Lennox, who's a smart guy, can see through it and says, we're living in horror, basically. This lord here, this random lord, says where Macduff has gone. The son of Duncan, so this is Malcolm, the son of Duncan, for whom this tyrant holds the due of birth, lives in the English court. So Malcolm has gone to England, and in England he is with the king. He's with King Edward in England, and is received of the most pious Edward with such grace that the malevolent of fortune nothing takes from his high respect. So this is a good king, right? Edward is a good king. He's taken Malcolm in. He's treating him with respect of somebody that should be the king. Notice this here as well. The due of birth is this idea that he is the rightful king. So Macbeth does not have the support of his nobles. They see him as being somebody who has taken the throne for himself. He's not his rightful thing, it's Malcolm's. That the malevolence of fortune nothing takes respect. Thither Macduff is gone to pray the Holy King, upon his aid to wake Northumberland and warlike seaward, that by help of these, with him above to ratify the work, him is God, we may again give our tables meat, sleep to our nights, free from our feasts and banquets bloody knives, do faithful homage and receive free honours. Okay, now this is essentially, he wants things back to normal. Okay, Northumberland is in sort of North England, and seaward is the Earl of Northumberland. So Macduff has gone down to England and he has asked the king to ask this guy, seaward, to raise up an army. Now Northumberland is borders Scotland. So raise up an army of Englishmen and come up to Scotland to overthrow Macbeth. So Macduff, Edward, Malcolm, Siward, and all the Englishmen of Northumberland come up. And the Lord says, please God, let it happen. If this happens, we can get our lives back, right? We can have food on our tables. So people are starving. We can sleep again. One sec. We can have food that is free of bloodshed, right? And we can have honour. Yeah.
Wait, so who was it that wanted to make an army to take Macbeth?
So Macduff has gone down to England to ask the king to ask this guy to raise an army.
So Macduff, Edward and Siward.
Yes, Macduff, King Edward, Siward, and the army of the English. Okay. Again, it doesn't matter massively, but it's the English army, and the idea is here that things are bad, right? Things are really bad. People are starving, they're scared, and they want to be liberated. Yes. Malcolm's already in England. So Malcolm goes to England straight after Duncan's killed, but then Macduff comes down and says, we need to overthrow this guy. So Macduff is the one that goes down and says, let's get an army together. Of course. No. Nobody thinks Malcolm's the killer. Everyone thinks Macbeth is the killer. But Macbeth is saying, it's not me, it's Malcolm. And because he's the king, no one's going to disagree with him. So everyone's just like, yeah, okay. But notice that he's ruling through fear. Right? The way he rules. I think about Duncan at the start of the play. Duncan is gracious and kind and good. Macbeth rules through fear. So Macduff has done the ultimate act of treason. And he is punished badly for what for his decision. Okay? Right. This report hath so exasperated the king that he prepares for some attempt of war. So the English are coming. Okay? English are coming, and their goal is to liberate, in other words, to free Scotland from Macbeth and put Malcolm back as the king. Sent he to Macduff. So this is has Macbeth sent a letter to Macduff? He did, and with an absolute "Sir, I not." So Macduff refuses. So Macbeth sends him a letter that says, "Come back," and Macduff says, "No, sir, not I." The cloudy messenger turns me his back and hums as who should say, "You'll rue the time that clogs me with this answer." So he says to Macduff, "You'll regret this. You'll regret this, right? Deny Macbeth. He will seek vengeance on you for what you've done." And well that might advise him to caution, to hold what distance his wisdom can provide. Some holy angel fly to the court of England and unfold his message, here he come, that a swift blessing may soon return this our suffering country under a hand accursed. So there's the idea of sort of praying to God, right, to save Scotland. I'll send my prayers with him. So Lennox is one of Macbeth's closest allies, and even he wants Macbeth gone, right? We get a little bit of a taste of what life is like under Macbeth in Scotland, and really